call this meeting to order. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank you everyone for showing up. This wonderful weather. Appreciate you coming out. This meeting is a meeting of the Harrison Heights Board of Directors in the public for the purpose of conducting the Homeowners Association's business. It is not to be considered a public community meeting. There will be time for public participation under other as indicated on the agenda. If you would like to speak under other, there is a form. If you please sign your name and your unit number so that we can call you up. This meeting is videotaped and is going to be archived on YouTube. And if you'd like to watch meetings, you can also subscribe so you get it in your email as soon as it is posted. You can go to YouTube and put in Harrison Heights. Next, we're going to start with new business. We're going to need a motion to approve Dominic Cantor as custodian handyman for $18 an hour. He was the only applicant we did receive.
I make a motion to approve Dominic Cantor as our custodian handyman.
I'll second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please. All those in favor, yea. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Next, we're going to move on to the fire extinguisher quote. We did put out a quote for fire extinguishers. The board always requests a minimum of 3. We did receive a quote from Reliable Fire and Security, which was used for past boards. It was $138.60. However, last year we did pay $296.06. But we're going to get that invoice because we want to make sure that that wasn't replacing any or anything like that, as far as you're just coming out and checking them. Coursing Fire and Security was $161.65, and AAA Valley Fire out of Hammond was $89. We'll need a motion to approve AAA Valley Fire since they were the lowest quote.
I will make a motion to approve AAA Valley Fire.
Discussion? Those in favor say yea.
Yay.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Laundry room rules.
Can I get to the
Sure.
fire extinguisher quote? Just
Yes.
make an announcement. Tomorrow morning, AAA Valley Fire will be in the building looking at all of our fire extinguishers and approve them, or if they have to be sent back out, they'll be doing that. Whatever they do to make sure that we have safe fire extinguishers that are ready to do their job if needed. So you'll see them in the building tomorrow morning.
And then also, if they charge the previous board, because this is not a contract, it's just every year we'll do this. We didn't want to get into a contract with something like this, but if in fact the board did pay last year $138.60 just for them to come out and look at the fire extinguisher, and then you subtract the $296 if they had to change anything out, we'll give that to the past board, and then this board saved $49.60 just by putting it out with quotes. So thank you, Madam Secretary, for letting us know that they are coming out tomorrow. Laundry room rules. I'd like to make a motion to rescind all laundry rooms postings. We'll need a second, please.
I second.
Discussion. This board looked at the laundry room postings. There was 3 of them up there. We felt as though some of them were outdated, such as this one. Only laundry related items are put in this container. Any other garbage, trash, or household debris must be taken to the designated dumpsters. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated, Board of Directors. We felt as though it was a garbage, as long as, food or those type of things. We've been watching, we haven't seen anything like that in there. For anybody abusing it, if we do need to make a rule, we can make a rule, but we feel as though it is a garbage, like you said. Please keep the window closed. I've never seen the window open. In fact, when one was open, we got complaints about a window being open. I think it's just common sense that if you see a window open and nobody's in there, to go ahead and close that. And then also another posting was up there, use washer for dyeing, or do not, use a washer for dyeing. We don't see that that's being abused. I think that was something popular years ago, possibly, and it's not happening anymore. Use washer for excessively dirty or greasy work clothes, do not. We don't know who would be able to police that, needing to figure that out. So that's not something that we were looking to see if that was an issue or that there was a problem with that. Clean the dryer lint trap. We just felt as though that was also common sense, and if you didn't clean it before you left, I do know that most people will look at it when they put the clothes in the dryer. Wipe off the machines. That is something that Constant Clean does on a weekly basis. If somebody were to make a mess, we haven't seen any machines being dirty or anything like that. We've been watching now for a couple months. Close the window. Turn off the light. The lights now automatically do go off when individuals leave. Clean the wash tub of any residue. We didn't see any residue when we were spot checking. Leave the laundry room in a clean condition. You would like to find it for your own use. We didn't see that that was a problem either. That pretty much they're pretty clean. Also, the laundry room hours, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. I do know that there are 2 board members up here whose bedrooms are directly next to the laundry room. I have never heard the laundry room. If I go into my closet, I might be able to hear a washing machine running. I cannot hear the dryer. It does not interfere with my quality of life by any means within my unit. If you'd like to come in and hear the garage door opening and closing, it's 100 times worse than the laundry. So we felt as though it's a common area, it's individuals. If it becomes a problem, we could always change those, but it is every unit owner's laundry machines and dryer. And I know especially, Harold had mentioned, he works long hours, 6 days a week, and then he
I brought my bike on Sunday, so
So he would like to have the opportunity to do his
it's never
laundry
late.
also
It might be
later.
10:30, 11 when it gets done, but it's just not right at 10. I always try to break it home right by 8 so I can get it done by 10. 2 hours to do wash and dry.
And then there's also been, the police kind of policing of some unit owners who took these rules at heart. And I know it's happened to a couple people that I know. They'll just go and unplug either the washing machine or the dryer on those if it's past 10 o'clock, which is not right for other unit owners. So with that being said, we're still monitoring that to see what happens. If we need to develop rules, the board is willing to develop rules. With that being said, anybody else have any comments?
Good to start with the clean slate, just have the rules that are needed.
So all those in favor, yay? Yay. Those opposed? No. Thank you. Secretary report, Madam Secretary.
Looking at the Harrison Heights Bank accounts, again, we don't have a savings account, it
The
was closed. Did you say secretary?
Meeting minutes.
Oh.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, the meeting minutes. I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for meeting on June 27th, 2019.
Are we doing September?
Was it the 27th? That's my fault. I didn't choose that on here. Was it the 27th we were meeting? What did you
Talking about
minutes say?
September?
Our annual meeting, what date was that?
That was 9/10.
Okay, September 10th. So that's the motion, yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Making a
It's my
motion
fault.
to
I didn't
approve the
change it.
meeting minutes for September 10th, 2019.
I second the motion to approve all minutes previous to tonight.
Thank you, Jason.
All those in favor, yay?
Yay.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Treasurer report, Jason.
The month-end statements for September 30th gave us a total in our bank accounts of $204,642.23. That was $9,615 in checking, $87,642.87 in money market, $109,066.19 in the CD account, and a negative $1,682.12 credit card balance because of the water bill. For October end, it was $233,929.93. Total $15,851.94 in checking, $108,790.16 in the money market account, $109,287.83 in the checking, in the CD, and no credit card balance. Of course, I have not yet seen the November statement, so that's where I want to go. So we'll have to be amended. Yeah. Okay.
So, yesterday, I think.
For the end of October, we now have $52,857.37 in available money and $181,072.56 in the reserves general account. We still have not split off the roof fund because I have not gotten enough accurate estimates on the roof to estimate what it would cost to set that aside. In October, we were only able to put $757.80 into the reserves because the bylaws state that the total amount set aside for the reserve funds shall not exceed 10% of the total annual budget unless authorized by a majority of unit owners. There hasn't been a vote of the unit owners to do that. So instead of putting $5,661 in, we put $757.80 in, bringing our total to the year to $17,740.80, which is 10% of our total budget of $177,408 for the year.
So we met the criteria within our bylaws for the roof fund for this year.
Yes, we could not put more money in without an additional vote of all the unit owners. Our budget for the year, I don't know if anybody wants me to go through line by line on this. It's about the same as it was before. We're about $5,000 under on income because we'll get some more in November and December. We just have lease assessments coming in and about $3,000 under on expenses. We're a little over on professional fees. That's still due to the resource management dispute. Elevator maintenance is a little bit over, but it's much better than it has been. Elevator's been behaving. Landscaping is close to normal. The total building maintenance is under primarily in the clubhouse, which we decided not to do any maintenance on because of the overages in other areas, including utilities, where the water is way over due to the increase of
6.5%.
Yeah. Do we want to go to the budget for next year before we
Sure.
get this? Okay. So for next year's budget, taking into account no assessment increases, but the increased interest that we expect to get on our bank accounts, our budget will be $180,284. That's $174,184 in assessments, $3,900 in interest, and $2,200 from the laundry. Our total expenses are expected to be $152,975. That's $11,000 of insurance, $12,460 in professional fees, of which that's $8,160 in management fees, $1,500 in postage and copies, $1,000 in legal fees, $1,800 for an accountant to do the year-end thing that's mandated in the bylaws, $1,800 for the elevator. Landscaping is $16,935 even. Mowing being $10,760 of that, snow removal being $6,000, and that's $175 for the sprinklers. Total building maintenance is $72,200. That's general maintenance of $9,600, which is the constant clean and Harold and the other person we just approved. The pool is $2,050, which I think also includes the boathouse in the coming year's budget. and supplies, $6,600, $9,000 for building and grounds repairs, $250 for the alarm, $3,000 for resident service requests, problems that are reported by the building occupants, $28,500 for building improvements. And I'm sorry, common area cleaning did get separated out from the general maintenance. That's $9,600 for general maintenance and $13,200 for the cleaning of the common areas. Utilities, $38,580, $16,800 of that is water, $16,500 is power, $30,720 is the trash, $1,560 is the phone, which leaves us $18,028, 10% of the budget for the contributions to reserves.
So we'll be able to increase the reserves next year because our budget has increased, not due to assessments, but because of the interest that the secretary has been diligently watching and making sure that money's being transferred out of checking and into some kind of interest-bearing accounts whenever she can do that. And then the big thing was transferring the money from accounts where we're getting hardly anything, pennies.
Cheryl, can I interrupt and ask? We used to get copies of the budget and what the expenses were by the end of the year in print, because this is, you read all that stuff.
Yeah, everybody,
yeah, but
it's.
We have to approve it in order to send it out, so that's.
Okay, but it will be sent out, great, okay.
So I will move that we accept the 2020 budget that I've just read.
Discussion? Thank you, Jason, for doing all that. I know that you followed a lot of the line items that's been used, previously, and some maybe aren't as relevant as what they used to be, but we didn't want to do much changes to it, so appreciate it. So all those in favor, yay? Yay. Those opposed, nay? Motion carried, thank you. Bank account analysis?
Do we want to approve the
Yes.
financial statements from September and October, so
Yeah.
that we can publish those as well? I move that we approve the September and October financial statements.
Second, discussion? All those in favor, yes?
Yes.
Yes, those opposed, no. Motion carried, thank you again, Jason. Bank account analysis?
Okay, at our bank accounts, we know that the savings account was closed February 5th, opening up a money market. We opened the money market on February 5th with $61,371.67. Interest earned since that time is $678 for 8 months. We had one-time deposit in October for $21,000 deposited into the money market from the checking, leaving the new money market balance of 10/31/19 of $108,790.16. The checking account as of 10/31 was at $15,851.94. The CD account was open 2/8 at $107,512.73. Earned interest for this account for 8 months is $1,774.10. And the balance as of 10/31/19 in our CD account is $109,287.83.
So do we have the total that we've saved in interest or that we've made in interest for the year as compared to what we would have previous year? No. So do we have anything under technology update?
This is November, so I think the first meeting that we recorded on YouTube was May, so that will be coming down after this meeting when I put up the November meeting.
Thank you. Signs are a little bit of a work in process. We did put up another sign with the Amazon on the pillar as you pull into the Circle Drive. We thought that would deter any packages from being left up front, which is a little bit more not secure than the back entry way. That sign did fall, so we have to wait with weather permitting to get that one back up. I did ask the Amazon man the other day, or UPS, I can't remember who it was at the front door. I said, why are you delivering here? You know, did you see the sign? And he said, yes. He says, but it was a preference to leave at the front door. So I know that I can go on to all three, Amazon, UPS, or USPS, or FedEx, and say where I want the package left. I always say in the back door if I have anything delivered here, so somebody is saying in the front door. I would suggest if that's the case that you would definitely, you know, make that change to the back door because more traffic goes in and out of there with the elevator as opposed to the front door. So we'll put that sign back up whenever we get a chance. And then Barb, do you have anything to report out on the Attorney General complaint?
We do. We have 2 Attorney General complaints. One filed by us, the board, myself, the other by Karen Downing. So Karen Downing, we'll visit with Karen.
So Karen Downing is a unit.
Unit owner, and she's up in 313. And she had wrote that that she was disgruntled because she couldn't get an aerial on the roof because we wouldn't approve it. Antenna, I'm sorry, antenna. And so, but she went and put the complaint against Watson Management. We don't know why, but Watson Management had to get themselves an attorney to fight us because of what she did. However, you had a conversation with Annette, who wanted to also question about getting an aerial, and they talked about it's now in the Attorney General's hands. We no longer, you took it out of our hands. The decision could no longer be ours now. So until the Attorney General comes down with whatever they come down with, a decision, we're gonna have to wait and abide by that. Because, do you have anything to say about that, or, okay?
Well, we had, Watson had their attorney obviously look at it, and then we also had our homeowners association attorney look at it. And this board is not mandated by any means to supply an antenna to 56 unit owners. It's not a common area. It is in your private unit. It crosses over your threshold of your door. And the board of directors or the homeowners association money should not be used in private individuals' units. And somebody had asked me about it, and I said, are you gonna leave your door open 7/24, 365 so anybody can come in who paid for it to watch it? No. And then I was told that, well, you know, there's a cable in the wall for it, and I said, I would imagine there would have been back in the 70s. There was no cable TV. Well, I can't afford cable TV. My son lived in my unit, my daughter lives in a unit that I own. Neither one of them ever had cable TV. They do streaming. They don't do cable TV. So that, you don't have to have cable TV. It's not a necessity to have a TV. It's not an emergency, so it's not a common area. When I purchased my units, nobody told me that there would be an antenna on the roof. And I do know that Harold does not have cable, and he doesn't stream, but he does have
It's an digital antenna on HTV, little box,
what did they cost you?
$22, 20 some bucks sometimes for each TV, but I only got 2 TVs, yeah.
And do you get, how many channels do you get every?
I get like 5, 7, 9, and a bunch of the other ones I don't watch. I mean, home shopping, all, you know, probably 30 or 40. But I just watch Fox and stuff, and the night for the news, that's all I'm looking for. But it works. Once in a great while, but even cable you lose. Once in a great while, if it's snowing or raining or hard, it'll lose the signal and come back.
And I get the same thing, my cable's out probably more than what your antenna TV is out, because if the internet goes out in this building, I don't get TV.
Yeah.
Which happens quite frequently.
And I looked on the wall, that's for old TVs with the wire. You could even, if they ran an antenna, you couldn't hook your TV, your cable TV to the wall unless you have somebody come out, put a whole new and rewire it.
Yeah, and that's costly.
Yeah, the
So
antenna ain't
if
gonna
we
be no
looked
good.
at an aerial, it's possible that we'd all have to pay for these people's units to be restructured.
History repeats itself.
As the move from analog TV to digital 5-10 years ago, I don't think that the wires that are run through the walls are
No.
capable of
No.
So it's not just simply getting an antenna and installing it.
Well, there'd be a cost, the antenna is not much money, you know, when you look at it, but you have to pay somebody to install it, and then comes the fact when one unit owner calls and says theirs isn't working, then we have to call somebody out, the HOA has to go and look at the antenna for that one specific unit, and you know that's gonna happen constantly. So, you know, it's not a cost that this homeowners association would want to, or this board would want to encounter at this time. If you want a TV, if you want that personal entertainment, find a means of getting that.
I got a letter from, her name is Christy Beaumont, actually Natalie Beaumont Christie. She was assigned to the case that was filed on behalf of the building and resource management. She also, because I suppose she's the regional investigator, was assigned to Karen Downey's complaint, but she writes, "I'm sorry I didn't return your call or reach out sooner, since I am the case analysis on 19 CP 55514. There was a conflict of interest, and that 14 was us, and the next one was Karen, and has been transferred to analyst John Chapman. John can answer your questions you have regarding a response. He should be reaching out to you soon." I haven't heard from him yet. So, but that's where Karen Downey's complaint went. On our complaint that was filed quite a long time ago, I got a letter on September 27th from Natalie Beaumont Christie, and she says, "I have finished my investigation. I am working on a summary that I will then produce for," she has to send it off to the attorney in her department. They'll go through that. And we will get a letter via email explaining our findings and any additional information that you will need from them. So they've got the analyst has finished their end of it. So it's still in progress.
And if the Attorney General says we have to put an antenna up, or put an antenna. Lights, the outside lights, the dawn to dusk eyes needed to be replaced. We did order those. And I'm going to do a shout out to Bill, Barb's husband, for replacing those and putting those on for us. The lights now aren't as sporadic and they're more timely. We did purchase light bulbs. There was some lights that faced the building itself that were out. We did purchase those light bulbs and like to thank Harold and Bill for putting those on. However, there is one light that we cannot get to work, and we do think that it's the structure, the light itself
I think
needs
it's
to be
shorted
changed.
out.
Yeah, and that's the one that is on the east side of the building, the southeast corner. That light will be switched out. We do believe, we do have a new one that was just sitting in one of the rooms of the garage, so we're gonna attempt and hope that that still works and change that out. If not, we'll have to order that.
Point of order, or just a FYI, I had heard that somebody had come out to service that light before, and they said it was the wiring under the ground, so swapping the light.
That light worked up until recently, because it's right underneath my unit, or right underneath my window, my bedroom window.
Something I had heard.
Because you don't, I don't need a night light.
That's bright.
I can find my way to the bathroom with my curtains closed, it's pretty bright, so it was working, and I know I didn't do anything to it, but it was working fine, so I'm not for sure. We'll see what happens. I mean, Bill's,
If all the other ones are working, then I don't know which one it was, but
yeah.
I thought that they had said that.
And Bill got it on, and he just shorted it out.
It shorted out, yeah. And that's probably why you were getting shot.
You put the new bulb in it, poof,
Yeah.
it's got juice there, but it
Yeah.
blows it.
Yeah.
I got shocked.
So the tree trimming, we'll move on next, and we got some pictures to show that. That is in the parking lot. They did come out countryside and trim up those trees. You can drive through on that side of the parking lot. The west side of the parking lot is a little easier. And then they did come out and trim the circle drive. However, we noticed that the trees were still laying over portico, the portico, and then the leaves and, you know, the thing, it was all getting into the gutters. So I asked them, please come back and retrim, and you can see, I don't know if you can see the before and after pictures, but it is now far away from the actual, entryway, the portico that's there, which is nice that they did that. And then there was just a dead tree that you probably see in the circle drive that was just laying almost at a 45-degree angle. That is gone, and those trees were trimmed up also. And I think that's it, there's nothing else, right? Everything's done now that we had request to be finished. So paint for the doors, the homeowners association, the board did purchase paint for the doors. If anybody wants to paint the outside of their door, we do have the paint, you're more than welcome to use it. Service animals, there was an issue with a couple of dogs that were in units that did not have the proper documentation. We requested that those dogs be removed until the proper documentation was received. They proceeded to say that they were service animals, and I said if they're service animals, then get the proper documentation to management already. Until then, they're a pet. We even allow pets. I do not, with that being said, we wanted a legal opinion, and so did Watson, if I'm not mistaken. They also got a legal opinion from their attorney on what is actually a service animal. And the board cannot decide that. That's not up to us. However, you do have to have, unless it's not sight unseen, if you're blind or you're handicapped or something like that, you don't have to have something from your doctor to say that it is a service animal. If you are not, and you do have other disabilities or medical problems for the dog or the animal itself, you do have to have documentation from a medical professional saying, yes, that this is a service animal, and that's where we were at. Now we do have the right forms. Watson has those that needs to be filled out by the unit owners. And if I'm not mistaken, I think one of the service dogs aren't here anymore. Is not here anymore. So that dog's gone. Okay. Next, we're gonna move on to owner's insurance. This is something that is in our bylaws. I do not think what it is that owner's individual insurance from the drywall in, you have to have insurance. I'm not sure that past boards or past management companies comply with this requirement, or nor was it enforced. As the board of directors of Harrison Heights Homeowners Association, we are required to follow the bylaws. Thus, we will request Watson Management to follow through with the insurance requirement. If, for example, somebody were to have a fire in their unit, and they did not have insurance and then just left and didn't have anything for us to get, the homeowners association would be responsible to repair that unit. That's not something that we think we would want to put on anybody. And then also, I have a unit, I do have insurance, I get a check, I can walk away with the check and not be found. And we didn't want that to happen either. So we are going to request that the management company, there's a form a letter that's gonna be going out and have documentation of every unit owner's insurance. With that being said, I did talk to Russ, our insurance agent from American Family, and I asked him, is there something in his insurance from the homeowners association that he has that would also mandate that? And he said yes, and it's according to our bylaws, and this is a quote from him. According to the HOA bylaws, individual owners are responsible for insuring their units from the drywall in. If the unit owner would insure their unit with American Family, if there was a claim, the deductible would be waived. So
if they had it with
American Family, which is the insurance that insures our building and our clubhouse. So that's something to think about for those. And then that'll be in there also. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
I did pull up the bylaws, and it's section or number 8, second, and it says apartment owners. Each apartment owner may obtain insurance at his own expense, affording coverage upon his personal property and for his personal liability as may be required by law. But all such insurance shall contain the same waiver of subrogation. That means when you have insurance, which you must have by the bylaws, you must subrogate Harrison Heights Incorporated, and you must tell your insurance agent that, and they put it into your insurance, because let's say I have a fire and Harrison Heights Incorporated is not on my insurance, I can take the check and leave, and there's nothing that they can do to me. But you guys would have to fix it in order to have a viable building. So it's called subrogation, it is in our bylaws, and we're working on making sure that I called my insurance agent right away. He sent over whatever it's called, that one page declaration, and it has Harrison Heights Incorporated documented in it. And I thought that was what we were, doing, so we looked it up, and sure enough, there it was. So we are going to have to abide by the bylaws this time.
This board of directors, we're dwindling down all of our contracts, so we're bidding them out, or, if anything, we might have about 2 left. Something that's been weighing heavily on us was our lawyer contract that was signed, I think, a year or 2, if I'm not mistaken. It's a 10-year contract. I asked the attorney, please review this, see what this says, because it was a little convoluted to read. And what is your interpretation? I do know that they do come and they do take orders. If we, as a board of directors, wanted to count orders, so we knew what we were getting in, what would that entail? Could we? Do we own the wash machines outright after a certain time, 10 years, are they ours? What else did we want to know?
I think what he wrote in here was quite.
Yeah, but I'm just curious what else was there. But so anyway, here is the response, and I think this is so important to understand that when a board gets into a contract that is not in the best interest, or did not do their due diligence for the homeowners association, this is what happens. Have a chance to review the contract. Really great contract if you are the laundry company. Terrible for Harrison Heights. The contract provides for Harrison Heights to receive 50% of receipts payable semi-annually. That's the quarters that we put in. I can write a note because I'll forget. We don't know what those are. That is a subjective dollar amount. Any dispute to a distribution, which is the money that they give us, received, must be sent in writing to Coinomatic within 7 days of receipt. Coinomatic has sole discretion to determine how and when to collect coins. Harrison Heights may have an individual present during collection. However, you may not interfere in any way with Coinomatic. Parentheses, this probably precludes coin counting by Harrison Heights Board of Directors. If Harrison Heights has an individual present to count coins, then Coinomatic may deduct 5% from Harrison Heights' share. Any request to be present must be sent in writing to Coinomatic. Coinomatic is entitled to deduct sales tax and any permit fees from Harrison Heights shares. What that includes, I don't know. Harrison Heights must provide written notice to Coinomatic of any defects in equipment and also provide Coinomatic reasonable time to prepare. The equipment at all times belongs to Coinomatic. The agreement automatically renews for 10 years unless written notice of non-renewal is sent at least 60 days, but no more than 120 days prior to expiration. So they give you a 60-day window to figure it out.
So I'm gonna probably be dead by that time. So if my kids have it, would somebody remind my kids to write a letter to these people? 10 years again? Woo.
For breach by Harrison, so in other words, if we breached the contract, wanted to get out of it before the 10-year. Coinomatic may charge 75% of the average monthly receipts that we would incur throughout that 10-year if we, even if we let them go. 75%. Monthly receipts times the number of months remaining under the agreement plus attorney fees. Yes, the board of directors did sign this contract.
This is a good deal.
It sure was, wasn't it? All notices under the agreement must be sent by certified mail to be valid. So you can't even email or send a letter, get it certified mail. Unless Coinomatic fails to pay Harrison Heights their disbursements, thank you, or fails to repair equipment in a timely manner, then I don't see a way out of this agreement before its expiration. It really is a bad agreement for Harrison Heights, and certainly wasn't reviewed by an attorney for Harrison Heights, or else they would have advised to never sign this. So I thought that was important to get an opinion on that, because like I said, this is something that the board has been looking at for a while, and it's not good for Harrison Heights, unfortunately. I noticed that on the machine itself, that it does say coins/debit card or card reader. This is something I do think that the board is interested in looking at. Do we have the right to put it on a debit, like a card? It's not really like a debit card, you would just put money on that. That then could be read electronically. There's no coin counting. How could we interfere with the coin counting? So, you know, and then the board of directors is gonna have to make a decision. Do they want to just count the coins and just to see what we're doing? But obviously, they put everything in there to deter our board of directors from doing that, and there's a reason for that. So those are a couple things that we're thinking about. We'd also like to put it out there that if anybody has meeting minutes where this contract was approved, it was dated what, November 2000,
It was, let's see, September,
July 2018.
just before we came on the board. We got elected then a few months later.
So I know, Carol, you're here, and I know you've been here originally, and you pride yourself in all the documents that you do have.
Yeah, I may have those, but you should have all of them in the office.
No, we've looked in the office, there's nothing there that's pertinent. Everybody keeps saying that. The management company gave it to the management company, it's all in that office. You are more than welcome to go in that office anytime you want and see what was left from us.
No,
It's a mess, and if you even touch anything, you gotta have gloves, that's how old it is. This would not be old. You wouldn't need gloves to find this one. But, yeah, do you have any old meeting minutes that you can give
Well,
us?
I don't consider July 18th old. I'm sure that I would have a copy of them, but you're only talking a year ago. And we all had minutes available to us. So if it's 2018, I would think almost everyone in this room should have them.
I don't have the meeting minutes, nobody up here from the board, and once again, we're just requesting if you could check, we'd appreciate it.
I
Yeah,
will.
that'd be very important, if you could even get us, more than that time period, we'd like to see where possibly that president who signed it was elected, in what format, those are all interesting to us right now. Appreciate it, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Old business, elevator license, do we have any update on that, Barb?
I talked to her today, as a matter of fact, with Barb. I just called him a couple of weeks ago. He's her contact there at the state.
Mhm.
And he says, all I can tell you is they are so behind. But I mean, we're talking really behind.
Yeah.
And I still don't have a current one in my
And
business.
she just
so.
keeps calling and she keeps getting the same thing, that the state of, Indiana is so far behind.
We're gonna have to pay another license before we get our current.
Probably. With the state, yes, you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody has anything, I know, Jason, you don't have anything on the tennis court. The shingles and the name, we don't have anything on that, it'll just stay on here. The parking lot light was
It's
fixed,
fixed, yeah.
where it is done. As far as the first floor washing machine was leaking, they kept coming out and saying they fixed it, it still didn't fix, it was a very, very small leak. However, it still could have been a slip and fall hazard. There, we said, no, replace the machine, it's still under warranty, and they said, no, it's your piping. I'm like, we're not going there, just replace the machine. They did, which I was surprised. So Lori from Watson did call them,
Oh, yeah.
and we did get another machine, and there is no leaking, so no, it is not her piping. The rust from the front stairs, I know Harold was still working on that, that'll be another spring project, it's still there a little bit, but the garbage, they started to come before 8 again. We did contact Lori from Watson to remind them that we are residential. We do have a service drive that has to have beat on the way out, it's right by bedrooms. They are doing better again, but we'll monitor that. Next, we're gonna go to the AT&T, the boxes down in the garage. I know that when Lori was here at the meeting, she said she would get a hold of somebody. They did come out. We do have pictures. Unfortunately, I did not take the 4 pictures, but I
That's
think.
Comcast.
Oh,
That's not
Comcast,
AT&T.
I'm sorry, Comcast. So,
Yeah, it's not, they're in the room.
yeah. So Comcast did come out, and I think everybody can remember what it looked like beforehand. It was just
They probably put screws in.
a mess, so it's a lot.
It's neater.
It's neater and it looks nice, so thank you, Watson Management for that. As far as the audit update, 3 of the board members, it is complete, are going to meet. We do not know the results, and as soon as we do, we'll get that to everyone. And she also said that she would come to a meeting to discuss it, which I think possibly might be something we would be interested in also. A couple announcements real quick. Something that we have to do every spring and fall, we did plug in the heat tape here for the gutters in the clubhouse. We did turn off the attic fan in the foyer, and we did turn off the elevator fan. We did turn off the clubhouse refrigerator and freezer. It was an old freezer refrigerator. We didn't think it was useful to have that running with nothing in it. When it is rented out, the board does come the night before to plug it in. We'll take the plug out again. We did spray with Scotch Guard the 2 new chairs and the bench. That is complete. All washer machines with the drain hose were placed into the standpipe drain. And I think we have a picture of that. We were getting complaints that the mesh, the board wasn't keeping up on the mesh, people were cutting them off, and finally we just kind of analyzed it and looked at it, did some research on it, and we said, why are we putting our hose into the sink when that's not where it goes? I have a wash machine in my unit and it doesn't go into a sink because I don't have a sink. So the building was built with a stand pipe, and it is actually behind the wash machine. It's a direct line into the sewer, and that's where it's supposed to go. So we went around the board, Barb actually, I did a couple, but she went around the bill and put them all in there, and people were taking them out. So, you know,
They were heard saying that we were putting the drain hoses into the dryer vent.
Oh, boy. I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
so I did have some verbiage on that I thought I had brought with me. What was the best leading practices? I thought I copied that. Do we have that on that standpipe? Did you get that picture of that or no? No? Okay, so that's it. What it was for and what it's used for.
That's the picture you sent.
That was it, but I thought I had some verbiage on it too, but that's okay. So then we were told, well, it smells if you put it in there. Well, if it smells if you put it in there, that's a different problem. Then you need to troubleshoot that problem. But we've been going in and out of the laundry rooms, we don't have no smells, so. Let's hope they keep them in there because that's where it's what it was designed for, exactly. All common areas, including the 8 laundry rooms, do have traps and bait boxes are filled with, or the boxes are filled with bait. So we're hoping hoping that that will deter the mice issue. We did cover the grills, and then the locks was put on the gas. But however, it is just your Medco key. If you do want to grill, you're more than welcome to grill anytime you want. It's your grill, so you can grill in the winter if you like. The grill paving blocks, we had looked at replacing those, and we really just didn't see anything that looked any better than what we had. But you couldn't walk on them. They had been overgrown with grass and just really not taken care of, or actually, so we did have the handyman cut around those. You can walk on those now. They do look a little bit better, and that's something that we are going to keep up on because it is something that will keep happening. I think we did have some before pictures, correct?
No, not against the two acres.
Oh, okay. We blew out the center of the garage. Obviously, that was before the leaves, but that was something that constant clean does sweep the leaves. However, they are not going into unit owner's space, since that is the personal space of the unit owner. The circle drive, we got a gift, so people could see was done. It was seal coated, and we didn't ask for it. So unfortunately, we were just part of Stone Ridge's seal coating.
Yay.
Does look nice. Yeah. So we thought they were going to do the service drive because they blew it, but
Should we give them a shout out?
I sent him a cake.
I wasn't here when they did it. I was surprised to see it was done, but they even came and did a place where a car was parked.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they even came back. God bless them.
And back in touch too.
So with that being said, you notice how nice it looks in the spring. We're going to get quotes for the parking lot, the service drive, and the entry and exit to the garage and see how much it's going to cost. The north and south garage entry was power washed where the cement is there, as you can see. We did miss the little strip by the grass, maybe I guess you would say by the ground. So all four of those were done, and they're all clean now. Parking lot was blown for debris. That's something that we think we need to do more than just once a year. Pool equipment was put away. Harold, thank you for helping with that. The front railing, we do have pictures of that. And that was before and in the middle of sanding and after.
He
And
did a wonderful
I think
job.
everybody can see when we had the handyman do that, it was really made a difference. And that railing is in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be repaired, it just needed to have the rust off. So we are aware of the fact that we do have other railings around from the mailbox, a couple of the stairs there that we'll definitely get to next year. The entry mats, we did clean those. We did purchase in the fall 2 perennial grass plants from Costco. I believe were they $14.99 or 20 something?
They were $14.99.
$9 each. We thought that they would look nice up in the 2 gardens up front, so there's one of those there. And you can see there the picture of them, obviously, that they were greener. And then to the right there, that picture, that was a dead tree that we pulled out. The handyman, we had him pull that out and the root out, dig and cut the root out. And that's actually where the grass actually is now. So, and we do think that we're gonna have some dead bushes again that we did try to save and trim up, and I don't think they're gonna come back. So we're gonna look at those in the spring. The board of directors, we did purchase calcium chloride salt, which is a salt that is kinder to the cement, especially up front with the steps with that coating on it, and also to animals and anybody else who want to touch it. And also, it's better for colder weather. So the rock salt is good, but when it gets really cold, it doesn't melt it, but the calcium chloride does, but the calcium chloride is expensive. So we do have it, and then we actually got a shaker where you just shake it on so that there's not gonna be globs of it in certain spots. And then before you know it, we got salt inside. So I think it's gonna work a little bit easier. And then we also did buy the regular rock salt and a salt spreader for the walkways or wherever we wanted to put it in between having the countryside come out. I think the weather got everybody by surprise. I know my husband was up and down Indianapolis Boulevard looking for salt, and he did get salt for us, all for the homeowners association also. And so appreciate that. We did purchase a rubber seal for the compactor room garage door. It did not have one on there. That is up now, so thank you, Bill and Barb, for putting that on. And then we also purchased a threshold rubber for the bottom of that compactor room because it's our bottom of that garage of the compactor room. It's supposed to protect it, and also it's not even, we noticed, but we still.
Bill got the adhesive to the hardware store.
Okay, so that has to be glued down.
Yeah.
On the concrete.
Yes, on the concrete, so we're hoping that will prevent mice from coming in also, but then I noticed that Bill also said that the sides of the garage door is missing something, and we need to get that done.
Keep the cold.
Yes. The handyman also realigned the blocks that the landscaping company, and I don't know which one did it, but snow plowing, obviously they pushed those and they were kind of ajar there for a long period of time, so those are all neat and ready for snow removal again. The heater compactor room, if you remember last year, we did have a broken pipe in there. We are looking at replacing that heater to go up there. It never worked, no. We are going to have the mailroom area re-drywalled. There's been a leak, and painted. The doors, the stairs, we're looking at getting rid of the carpet there. We had thought about moving it at 180 and then looking at leading practices with that area there specifically. We think it would be safety, as far as safety, would be more safe if we did get the grit paper that actually goes on the stair itself. We would do that just in the mailroom, that just set of stairs going up there.
It's like a pad. I mean, probably all know what we're talking about.
Yeah. We can even get it where it's clear, would show the color of the stairs, you can use it any color you want. So that's something that we're possibly looking at doing. With that being said, since we are going to have someone out here with the drywall, replacing, getting out some of that the panels that go around the light, the older things that's outdated, and the water leakage, and changing out some of the drywall, we thought it would be important to put up a security camera there. And in order to do that, we're prohibited from doing that. We would need electricity up into the ceiling, so we thought that would be the perfect time to do that. And Barb's husband, as you all are aware, is a retired union electrician, has offered, once the drywall is removed, to put the electrical from the light up into the,
That helps.
oh yeah, Harold,
Get out.
or Dominic, or somebody,
Yeah.
yeah,
He can't climb all that.
or even the guy who's put on the drywall.
Yeah, just so it's not me.
But we're looking at putting the security camera right above where you would walk in. I think many has lost packages there. Others we have seen. Some individuals have to look at every package that's delivered, even when they're not accepting a package. So we just think it's important to have a security camera up there, and then also some just feel as though that they could post whatever they want up there without their name on it. And we've said before, this board of directors, you post your name on it, it'll stay. So if that works, we're also looking at possibly, and we'll have to analyze it, maybe putting a security camera up right outside the garage there also, since we're gonna have that electricity and we're redoing it anyway, and that'll be something that might be important also, and with the problems that we've had with people putting things in that dumpster, that just shouldn't be there. That might be a deterrent for that also. So some shout outs, Ray and Phyllis with the recycles and helping with that, we really appreciate it. Myself and my husband, we have donated the blower, and so we don't mind doing that, or the power washer. Harold put up the flag for Veterans Day. The weather caught him. It was stuck up on the roof for quite a while with the ice. So he did get it down, and we let it up for another day to dry before he took it down. So, thanks for salting, sweeping, and, sweeping up some leaves and everything else that you've been doing. We really appreciate it. My husband did go up and get a scraper and was scraping the front steps with ice. So shout out to him. Once again, if you want communication via email, please provide your email address to the board of directors. We are only board members when we're at meetings and have a quorum. Otherwise, for unit owners like you, please respect that. Committees, we do have an update. I don't think anybody has any update on any committees at this point, but we do have an update on the social committee. Barb, if you'd like to.
Yeah, I decided with the social committee that we are going to host in January, when the holidays are over, a soup and sandwich bingo party. Bingo party. And, we've just now begun to organize it, but I think it'd be fun. The holidays are over. It's a time when everybody feels like the excitement's down, so we'll just build it back up with bingo. So be looking up on the board to find out the exact date. It'll be in January, and bring your appetite.
Will there be prizes?
I don't know, but I was thinking anybody that comes could bring something that they don't use in their unit.
Oh dear.
And it could be really fun.
Well, we could just collect the prizes from what they put on the chairs that they don't remember. We can just collect them. That's almost daily.
So you have a
Make sure the
prize,
dumpster is empty.
you got a gift at Christmas, then it was like, yeah, bring it to the bingo party.
Well, we're hoping that some of the board of directors will help pitch in. Maybe Jason, you can help with the screen, put up the bingo numbers up there. You guys want to call out the numbers? Yeah, I think it would be fun. It'll be fun. Does any board member have anything under other? No? With that being said, we'll open it up to the unit owners. I'm going to read this. The board of directors recognizes the value of importance of owners' fair and orderly comments. You must sign in to speak. You must state your name and unit number. Comments or questions must be addressed to the president. No one can address or question individual board members, only the board as a whole. Discussion must be kept to issues considered by the board of directors and not individual board members. No disparaging remarks, heckling, outbursts, or attacks about the board or directors or any unit owners or their voters would be allowed. The president may interrupt, warn, or terminate a person's statement when the statement is too lengthy, personally directive, abusive, obscene, or irrelevant. To be clear, the board will treat you with respect and return, expect everyone here to do the same. I will keep this meeting professional and orderly. We'll open it up for public comments. Sure, come on up. State your name and your unit number, please.
This is about our windows.
Thank you.
Right, I'm Carol Core from Unit 414, and we're in the clubhouse right now, and this at one time was the sales office, and this was the model for what at that time was called the deluxe 2-bedroom, and it was nicely decorated. And that's before they ever started building the building. But once they started building the building, people would come on Sunday, take pictures, look at all the, and I just realized I had a picture of 401 and 403. That was Lou and Dolly Patrick's unit, and you can tell that that is their unit because of the area above the door. All of us have like about a foot. If you've ever been on the roof, Patrick's unit, he raised the ceiling. So you know that's his unit. But we only have one location where we have 6 casement windows, and it's that unit. But you can see the grill work in the door and the window, but not in the north windows, and that had been an issue. And I realized I had a picture of it. I took this back in 1974. Now, Dave Snyder and I both called Altoff, and I do have the address. Fritz is still building homes, and that's who built our building. Okay, so the second set of pictures are the north windows, which don't match our other windows, but there was never any grill work on that one section. One thing though, Diane Snyder at a meeting pointed out, I'd like you to look at the bottom picture to the right. Diane did not know she had that window. You can see plywood. So even though Lou and Dolly got everything they wanted, they put a closet there. So there was plywood on that, and then it was drywall. And Diane and Dave had to pay anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 with a lift to change that window from the outside when they had the seal broke and they had the tape hanging. Now another thing I want to point out, if you look up above, and we have 4 units that the grill work doesn't match. So if you look at Dave and Diane, they're the top window. It looks like you have 12 panels. The one below it has 16. And then the next 2. And I don't think those people should be made to change it. I just think they need to get a letter when you change the window. You know, you want the windows to conform with the other. And I'm actually happy that this happened since I'm on the 4th floor. I included the other picture because if you go back to the first one, if you live on the top floor, if you have big units on the top floor, we don't have that casement window. So what I'm showing you, all the windows below, but there's no casement window by the mansard shingle or the mansard roof. And I'm glad, because I got to put a beautiful wall unit in my unit, because I don't have that window. But I'm just bringing that up to verify this picture was taken in Lou and Dolly Patrick's unit 401, 403. Now, when I stopped there, I actually stopped the day I took these pictures, which was July 25th. I went to the corporate office, and I brought the pictures, and I brought a Dixon bylaws, and I talked to one of the Altoffs, but I gave him Watson's name and address, because that's where the letter should have gone, and they indicated they would do that. Well, Fritz, on the 25th, did send me one. I'm assuming he also took care of Watson, but I don't know that. So I included the letter that Fritz sent me and also the envelope he sent it in. But you know, the windows had been, you wanted some verification, so I'm just trying to provide that verification that you wanted. And I think with the windows that I have, of the pictures that I have, I hope that's helpful. And I want to bring this up too, though primarily I wanted to talk to you about the windows. The fan in the garage are not coming on, and that is a fire code violation. And since I set them off at one time, jump-starting the Jaguar on a Easter Sunday, and we had Lansing, Cal City, Munster. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. In fact, I hate to even bring this up. We had a little bit different alarm system back then, but I did set it off and I was very embarrassed. But the fans do take care of the carbon monoxide. And unfortunately, people who don't want them on tell you our cars are efficient. I have 2 cars in the garage. One is 50 years old, and generally my red car is in there and it's 17 years old. So we have to be mindful of the carbon monoxide. Thank you.
So with that being said, it's a safety issue for the fans not to work, correct?
Correct.
Yes,
correct.
very, very.
Actually, it's a fire code.
It is fire. It'd be very terrible if they. So did you call the management company and report that?
I actually just realized See, they only come on like for 15 minutes, so you have to kind of like walk in
Well,
the
I know when they
garage.
come on, I can hear them in my unit. How
Right,
long, when did you
so-
notice this?
I'm gonna say a couple of days ago.
So a couple days you went and you didn't call in the manager of the company. That's okay.
But-
We'll handle it. Yeah, okay, just want to make sure that you
No, no,
understand
I-
that it is a safety. So both or one? Both fans or just one?
To my knowledge, neither, well, okay, we only have fans at the south end. The other end we have, and I don't get it right, I call them louvers, and, when the fans come on, they're supposed to open, yeah, Karen, the louvers are,
Yeah, louvers. Yeah.
so we only
The
have
suck
fans
that
at the
open.
one end.
Well, they both go on and off, so
Right.
both don't.
So, and unless you walk down there, and we have two different schedules, at least in the past. At night, they only come on like every 3 hours, and during the day, they come on for 15 minutes. So if you go down there for an hour, if they're on the night schedule, you have to be down there for 3 hours. So a couple of days ago, I thought, you know what, I'm starting to smell things, I don't think they're coming on. But the windows is why I signed up to talk.
Yeah, and I'm confused. What was your issue? What is your issue with the window? What are you telling us?
Well,
What's the
we're
problem?
supposed to maintain, we're all supposed to maintain the growth. In fact, what was the first meeting you came to, Daryl? The very first board meeting you came to, you came about your windows.
Yeah,
Who is supposed to replace the windows?
me, but
But you didn't know, and you had the tape hanging and you didn't like it.
Yeah.
But all the windows are supposed to have grill work except the north end
They
never
told me
did.
who to call, and I did call Munster Glass.
And they came down and did it,
Did
right?
it right on site, and they passed
Correct.
for sure, yeah.
So with that being said,
Well, when you replaced yours, Diane brought it up at a meeting, and you had said you wanted documentation, and that's.
whenever, are you talking to me? Because I'm all confused with what are you telling us? What is this telling me as a board of directors?
Okay, as a board of directors, we're supposed to maintain the exterior of the building with, so all the windows match.
Where are you getting this from? Is this in our bylaws?
Yeah. it's-
Somebody made it up?
No, no,
Where's
no.
that in our bylaws? Because I know I asked you last time where it was in our bylaws. 'Cause-
About the window, you probably
windows.
asked Diane.
No, I just asked, period.
Oh.
Where is it in our bylaws
I will. I
that
will
every
look
window
that up.
has to have and look the same?
I will look that up for you, but when I did stop at, Altough, I had the bylaws with me, and I know he pulled the page out and made a copy. So I'll go back and do it again.
Yeah, we
I'll
need
get
that,
to you.
because this board is bound by guiding practice of
Correct,
great
right. No,
HOA
I'll
boards,
look
and in
that up.
order to make decisions, we gotta have solid input with facts, data, standard of care, or standard of
Right,
industry.
right.
And bylaws is one of our standards that we have to go
Right,
by.
and I
So-
know Mr. Altough pulled that up, so I'll just go back and
No,
look through it.
I just need, yeah,
And I'll
because-
get that to
is
you.
it in our bylaws, Jason? You're really good with that. I don't remember seeing
I
it,
haven't
but
seen it, but
no, it's not
here's
in
the
our
15
bylaws.
pages right here, so.
First seen
Oh.
it there. So,
And
and here's the other issue. At what point did the board of directors discriminate against south and north windows? Do you remember? Where they are allowed to do something on the north side of the building, but the unit owners were not allowed to do anything, the same exact thing on the south end? Was that approved? Is that in our bylaws? Where did the discrimination happen, or when?
It happened because Lou Packer bought the 2 units, and when he bought the 2 units, he redesigned those areas. But once the building was open, we had to maintain what was already here.
But you're showing me over there, all 4 floors does not have the panels in the window.
Correct.
But you expect the south side, all 4 floors to have the panels. That's what you're telling me, correct?
No, I
Yeah.
would expect that when the building opened, we continue to match what we had.
So are you saying that then the south, you want this board of directors to make sure that the south side all changes out their windows to put the
No, I
panels in?
don't.
No, but you're
No,
okay
no,
with
I-
them not
No.
having it, but the south side cannot have it. You're saying it's okay to discriminate against the south side unit owners, cannot have it, but we're going to allow, somebody allowed at some point for the all 4
When-
units.
When Mr. Packer bought those units and before the building was ever constructed, he designed what he wanted. Now, the other units went, from Jason on down, went with what they, the units at the south end don't match the units at the north end. The south side, for example, have fireplaces, the north side don't have fireplaces. They don't have a chimney, we have it at the south end. So those units are not alike.
We're talking about the windows.
Correct, so the Packers windows don't match anything because they gave him what he wanted. The other windows below him all match that end, but the units at the south end don't match the units at the north end.
But you're telling us you want us as a board of directors, that's been going on for years. You're saying that you want anybody who lives in a unit to have those stripes on, even though there's some windows that do not have it, and the bylaws state,
No,
you
I'm not
say the
saying that.
bylaws state.
No,
Well,
that's
that's the message I'm getting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but that's not,
But if it's
But you
not in the
wanted-
bylaws, and then here's the other issue.
no, I
You've
don't
looked
get
at,
it.
have you looked at the common area windows? Have you looked at the common area windows?
Yeah,
Look at
I
the
have.
window over there, do they have the proper look? Our common area windows,
'cause
there's approximately 20 of them. Do they have the look that you're talking about, that you
It's
expect the
it's not,
south side to have?
it's not the look that I'm expecting, it's what we had when the building opened. and
Does these
maintained
windows
here.
have what the building had when it opened?
Yeah,
Our common area windows do.
yeah,
They do? Okay, you need to look. Maybe we need to take some pictures then, because they do not. We, as a board of directors who oversee the homeowners association and past board of directors, have not kept up on the windows. But yet then we want homeowners to abide by a rule that's arbitrary, capricious, and we don't even know where the rule's at. But yet then we can come and bring pictures of this is why we did what we did, because this picture was back in 1974, so this makes it proper for the north side, but not the south side, and that's discriminatory. And we're telling other unit owners to go fix their windows, when look at ours. Look at the homeowners association, look at our common areas. Maybe go take some pictures of them, because they're not up to par either. And that's all I have to say about the windows. But does
Right.
anybody have anything else under other? No? Hearing none, this meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
And